The following podcast contains language and themes that some people may find offensive. It also features me as the co-host. So, if you'll excuse me, I just have to get into my co-host position. There we are.
Hello and welcome to That Was the Week That Was It? The podcast that asks its guests how their week was last week, and thankfully the guests usually remember. I'm Alex Sievewright, and stepping up as co-host for this episode is Hayley Pettitt. How are you, Hayley?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, you were all cocky doing voiceovers for us, weren't you? You didn't expect to be doing this. Didn't expect to be stepping in.
I know.
How was your week?
Yeah, it was okay, actually. I started a new job, so busy, but good, positive.
Nice. We like positivity. That's all good. So that's the banter over with. Thank you so much. Our guest for this episode is a comedian and writer who has appeared on Mock the Week, The Now Show. I mean, the list goes on, really. I couldn't bother to write anymore. It's Ria Lina. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good, thank you.
Oh, it's good to see you again. It's been quite a while since we've spoke.
Been in the same room, touched each other. I mean, that sounds wrong. Not that we normally touch each other, but you know what I mean.
No,
I really.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, you know what I meant, Alex.
Yeah, I remember it really well. Obviously,
I would hope so.
But yeah, it's been fair few years. How are you anyway? You good?
Yes, I am currently the sun is out, and that really is all it takes to make me happy. I'm a simple girl. A little bit of vitamin D and woo.
Yeah, on an evening, having the sun out is a really, really nice thing because you lose track of time, and then you surprise yourself with bedtime. You're like, oh, it's bedtime. Let's go to bed. And
unless you're a comic, because that means no one showed up to your gig because they're all out in their gardens having barbecues.
No, that's right. How has COVID been? I mean, I hate to dwell on COVID, but it is big and everywhere, isn't it? Has that bit affected your comedy sort of business, as it were? I could have worded that a lot better.
Yeah. I think everyone knows the answer to that. Yes, it decimated the business, Alex. It did. But then this is the thing: if you're in the arts and you can't adapt to the situation as it was, then you shouldn't be in the arts. Is my opinion. And comedy adapted. It went straight onto Zoom. It started creating, everybody has a podcast now, except for me.
Yes.
Because I go around and guest on everyone else's podcast. And you know what? I've never had to do a single edit. I've never had to do, it's been great. I love it. And everybody, you have Zoom shows. I mean, it's just, we've moved into a new age of art, because now a lot of theaters, even after the pandemic, will be streaming their shows. You'll be able to buy tickets to things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to attend and be a part of the audience. So it's incredible. I think it's been an amazing technological revolution, off the back of what's been quite, a catastrophic world event.
It's true. I mean, there is some good that's come out of it. I mean, it's proven that these things can be done from home. A lot of voiceover recording can be done from home. Granted, I mean, when I did a voiceover thing, I was literally under a duvet. So I was like holding this duvet up while trying to read these lines. It sounded great. It was fine. But unfortunately, we've got a pug and she would like to climb Duvet Mountain at a certain time when I'm trying to read lines. So that take was ruined completely.
Isn't it crazy how you can have a duvet and a pug, but not a door to keep the pug out while you do your recording?
Oh, no. That was not allowed. Not allowed at all. The pug had to be here.
She just
had to be in the room
instead.
On the Duvet Mountain.
Scratch at the door.
Yeah, she does. I mean, that's what would happen. If I put her outside, she would just be scratching. Yeah. That would be it. And, so I'd rather have a pug on me than scratching the door, but never mind. So, I don't know. So, anyway, last week, how was that for you? Was it good?
Last week was an okay week. On the Ofsted scale, I would say just above needs improvement, but, not failing, but it wasn't excellent. It was like needs, good.
It was me at school, basically. That was my report card.
Yeah. C's, B's and C's.
D's.
You know what I mean? You're not going to win any of the awards, but you're also not getting a lot of detentions.
God, you sound so much like my school teacher that I had. So much. Every single report card I had was Alex is a daydreamer. That's what happened. But yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that.
But did he believe you?
No, not at all. Not at all. Let's do it.
Well, then he was not a daydream believer, was he?
No, he was not. No, fantastic.
Bum, bum.
Good.
Kaboom.
Let's.
Still got it. Still got it.
I'll edit that so it sounds really good as well. So let's do a deep dive. Okay, let's do it by day, because that's what we do on this show. That's how we spread this out. How was Monday?
Monday was interesting. Monday was the day that we decided to redo our bathroom. We didn't do our bathroom on Monday, but that's when all the different contractors came around and told us how they would do the bathroom and how much it would cost and so on and so forth. So that was Monday.
Nice.
Monday, we learned the value of our bathroom.
And is it valuable?
I'll be honest, my bathroom is more expensive than my bathroom deserves to be. Like, my bathroom is aspiring above its station. Or I live in London and that bathroom shouldn't cost as much as it costs, but with London inflation, it costs that much, because I think every single contractor came in and went, I could rent this out. It'll cost you this much. This could house a family of 4. I'll be like, we can't even get a full bath in. We're on a half bath. They were like, trust me, family of 4 in here. This is how much it would cost to redo it.
Defo. Yeah, sellotape the mattresses to the ceiling. We can definitely get a family of 4 in here. Hayley, I see on Facebook you've been doing quite a lot of renovations and stuff like that. So you must know the worth of your bathroom.
Do you know what? Actually, don't know the worth of my bathroom at the moment. We've been focusing on other rooms. Although, I know. It's 70s. It's 1970s-esque, beautiful brown tiles and wooden clad
avocado
ceiling.
Suite.
No, it is actually white. So they've obviously updated a little bit somewhere in between the 1970s and now. It's not great. But I've put in a flamingo shower curtain, so obviously everything is much better now.
There's the colour.
Oh, that ties it all together though, doesn't it? It just ties the whole room together. All really it needs is an accent piece. Hayley, I bow to you. Well done. Working with what you have.
You have to.
But seriously, it's like you're doing a full renovation of your whole house, it seems. Is that right? Or am I just getting like what?
Yeah, everywhere is 1970s. It's a Victorian house. So it's built in like 1890 or something. But they were like, Victorian. We don't need any nice features or beautiful period features and fireplaces. Just rip them out. And when we moved in, we had a mountain.
No, they didn't.
They did. I'm sorry. We just had a fake one put in, and it's a bit wonky, but it will do. It's pretty.
You can't get the little Victorian boys with the fake ones. They only come with the real ones.
I know, it's not fair, is it? We did get a mountain though. We bought a mountain inside of our living room. It was beautiful. Yeah.
A mountain?
So the 1970s, they had a bit of a thing for rock fireplaces. I don't know if you guys are kind of, you might have to Google this afterwards. Yeah, it was.
I was born in 1979. I don't remember it.
Yeah, the living room is about 19 feet long, and it scanned the entire length of the room and stood out by 2 feet and went floor to ceiling. And it was basically, we should have just got people in to climb it or something and made some money out of it. Wow. Actually, I think we've missed a trick there. But yeah, that's
incredible. So it was a stone mountain fireplace.
Yeah, I really don't know how the floor just didn't collapse, to be honest. So.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I want a stone mountain
Was
fireplace.
there hot chocolate? Was there skiing in the garden? Like,
do you know, the worst thing was there wasn't even a fire in the middle of it. So it was basically just a mountain, but no actual sort of working fireplace. So I don't know. It was pretty awful.
Wow.
What to say?
Yeah, we rent a house share. It's not that interesting where we are. The fireplace doesn't exist. It used to be a dental office, this place.
I see. Is it haunted by wisdom teeth of past?
Well, by Dead
Yeah.
teeth.
Dead teeth.
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, sometimes you wake up in the night and you step on the floor and it feels like you're standing on teeth.
Oh, I
Did
don't
it?
like
Oh,
that.
there's a
No,
movie in
it
there
doesn't.
somewhere
It doesn't. Yeah, a very bad one.
where you hear all the screams and the drilling in the night.
Oh.
Come on, we're getting there.
So is your new bathroom gold plated then, Ria?
No, we couldn't afford the gold, so we've just gone with a very simple nickel silver blend. Yeah, and then we did manage to squeeze into the budget so that the diamond encrusted railings,
Mm-hmm.
which is handy because you know how railings, when they're just that like cheap smooth metal, how your towel just falls off.
Oh, yeah.
So these are encrusted in diamonds, so when you put towel on there, you know your towel's going to stay on there, and it's so handy. I mean, it rips it to shreds every time I pull the towel off. It's just like like Wolverine. But it's worth it. It's worth it for the discussion piece.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like a diamond towel rail.
It really lights the place up. You don't.
Yeah, you don't even have to. I mean, I presume you have to have the light on, but it reflects and glistens, and oh god, that must be beautiful. Just picturing that now, that towel rail. So Monday sounded gorgeous with the nice bathroom. It didn't happen on Monday though, did it? You didn't get that done, you said?
No, just the guys came in, gave us the quotes, showed us some butt crack.
Okay.
It's all about the butt crack, isn't it? When you get a plumber to come around.
It is.
for a
You pay
quote.
extra
If
for
I
that,
don't see
generally.
butt crack,
Yeah.
I don't trust that you're a real plumber, if I'm honest.
No, you got to see the plumbing before you.
If I can't see your pipes, I'm not trusting you with my pipes.
Exactly. So how was Tuesday for you then?
Tuesday was bittersweet. I took my youngest son to school to be dropped off for his residential trip. That they do. So they go away for 3 days and they like camp and they, do water sports and whatever it is that they do.
Yeah.
And then they send them back with half of their clothes missing. Everything's covered in mud and the child clearly hasn't washed in days. And they're like, hey, we just gave your child a positive experience. And I just went, I don't understand. I don't understand how. I just don't. I don't get it. I mean, but you never not send your kid, because even if the kid doesn't want to go, you're like, I get 3 days without you in the house. So you're going. I get 3 days where you're not there. That's one less lunch that I'm making for 3 days. That's, one more glass of wine at lunchtime that you didn't know about anyway, because you were always at school. But still, the point is, yeah. So that was Tuesday. Took him there.
Oh.
I mean, I say lunchtime. I dropped him off at 8:30. It was wine o'clock by 9. It was 9 wine o'clock. It was wine o'clock at 2. Wait, yeah, by 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
I never stopped. I'll be honest. That was Tuesday, and I haven't stopped, as you can tell from my lack of diction.
Bless you. I never did a 3-day trip like that. Thinking about it, I was just trying to work that. The closest I got, we went to Austria for a drama trip that was 7 days long. That's the only one.
Wow, drama trip.
You sound.
Yeah.
I thought you were telling us like I'm really depraved, like child, and no, not depraved, deprived. That's wrong.
No, I was a depraved child. Yeah, definitely was a depraved child.
What do you think he did in Austria for 7 days? Well, come on,
Austria. Who knows? Could have been anything.
Yes.
The stories he has about schnitzel.
Oh, who'll believe it? The only story I've got that's even remotely like that is we were rehearsing in this hall. And then we just saw this German Shepherd, not a literal German Shepherd, an actual dog. He came wandering in to the hall, followed by this guy that can only describe as Oliver Reed in Lederhosen. That's how he looked. Lovely. And he was holding a beer and he just sort of looked at us with contempt, like, oh, drama students. And then turned around and walked off. So that's the closest bit I got to any sort of Austrian reality.
That is actually an Austrian drama teacher. That's a classic Austrian drama teacher. That is as much as you need to know to do proper Austrian acting.
I mean, he didn't give us notes at the end, so I figured we were doing all right. I don't know.
Actually, I think that's a fair thing to say, because let's be honest, we know that the Teutonic people do love to give a note, don't they? They love a bit of feedback.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do.
So
yes, they do.
Well done, you.
Oh, yeah. Hayley, you're a mother. Ever feel like
Yeah.
getting rid of your kids for 3 days?
What the hell sort of question is that? Of course, I absolutely would. Yes. I am counting down the days until we have residential trips and stuff like. They're only like 6, 3, and 2 at the moment, so they're tiny. So I don't think I can get away with that at the minute. I think that might be some sort of abuse, possibly.
Do you know in China, Hayley, they send their kids to boarding school kindergarten at the age of 3.
Oh, that
Don't want to get your hopes
amazing.
up, but I'm just saying that's a thing.
Oh,
I might move to China. Cool.
it's worth it.
Good
You might
tip.
have to.
Worth
No,
it
you
just for that.
can't. You have 3 children. You'd have to pick 2 to give away.
I'm sure Hayley can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah.
Sophie's choice on that one.
Yeah. As someone who has older children, it does get easier. There comes a point where they stop talking to you and just slam doors, and it's a blissful time.
I kind of get that from the 6-year-old already. It's incredible. And you're like, this is lovely. I've been waiting for this.
So, how old is your child, Ria? Don't mind me asking.
The one that I sent away,
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good age to get them
Yeah.
out of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, there wasn't even a school trip. I just dropped him off and said, I'll be back in 3 days. Do what you like.
Nice.
And they went,
Oh,
it's Saturday. And I went, I'm a comic. I have no idea what day of the week it is.
during lockdown, I've had absolutely no idea what day is what, and I'm still not 100% sure.
It's not over
No?
yet.
Okay.
Still no
it's not,
clue.
no. Is it Friday? It is Friday, isn't it, today? Anyway,
Yeah.
no.
It's fine.
Speaking of,
Yeah, I think so. It's July, isn't it?
is it?
I think so.
Just about, I think.
Shitting hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did that happen?
Well, now it's time for this feature's theme music was produced after the recording of this podcast. So shall we have a listen?
Yes.
There it was. That was it.
Hey.
That was great.
What did you like about it?
I really loved the integration of nature and household machinery.
Okay.
I thought that was really nicely woven together into a really sort of, and the rhythms that you managed to derive from it, it's really quite catchy.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you know what I mean? It's really quite catchy.
the blender really offset like the sounds of frogs, I thought personally. But like you say, the other elements added there.
Oh, those were frogs.
Well, what did you think they were?
Yeah.
What did you think they were?
Well, I wasn't sure because I thought it was the washing machine draining.
No.
Do you know that noise
Yeah.
that it makes, that gurgle?
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, that came just after, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I did the frog.
Oh, okay. So those were the frogs.
I
Yeah.
had to listen
okay.
again, but yeah.
How did you get the vixen noises? You know, those the foxes when they can't uncouple. How
Wow.
did you record those? Was
Well,
that
it is exactly what it sounds like. That's exactly what it is. I went out there under a sheet with a microphone late at night,
Wow.
and I bided my time. And they're randy little fuckers around here, so they went for it.
Well, I have to say, I mean, it
Nice.
sounded enjoyable, I think. I'm not sure. Do they enjoy it? I'm not sure. They're always
Mm.
screaming. But yeah, I was very impressed with how you managed to get that recording.
Well, thank you. But the most important thing is there anything that you didn't like about
Absolutely not. It was beautiful.
No,
Silence is golden.
if I'm honest, can I be honest?
it? You might as well.
I felt you underplayed the pug.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. You know, I thought that too much pug is a bad thing. That's what I've learned over the last 3 years of owning one. And you say I've underplayed it. I mean, obviously you have no experience with pugs, do you, Ria?
No experience with pugs, duvet mountains, none of that.
When you own a pug and you've had to do their anal glands, then
Oh,
you talk to me.
what? That's what that noise was? That's what that
Yes.
noise was in the music?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe you
you're
didn't
lucky.
underplay it. Maybe you were right to maybe minimize that. I mean, I
Honestly,
get why you
you're-
put a little bit in there for like a soupçon, but hoy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was trying to put a little bit in there, but it just gushes out. It's horrible.
oh,
Oh,
well,
Oh yeah.
well,
They're all
it-
cute. They're all cute from the front end, but yeah.
well, you got your gush.
Yes. It gushed. It gushed hard. Well, to be honest with you, though, I mean, that's about as
Gosh.
close I'm going to get. We don't have children. We're not going to have children.
Okay.
A pug's bottom is the closest I'm going to get to having baby poo and changing nappies. So that is my thing. And also the great thing is when Pippa turns 12, that's my pug.
Right.
When she turns 12, she's probably not going to turn 12. Anyway.
Wow.
oh,
And I could just
Thus endeth the music bit.
I could just get another one then. What about Wednesday, Ria? How was that?
Wednesday was a dark day. Mainly because it
Oh.
rained. I know it rained.
Yeah. It did.
But I hadn't been on a run in a while, and I was like, I need to go and run. So I thought, yeah, what's a little water? What's a little wet? So I went out and I got absolutely drenched. But because it was wet and and my running shoes are really designed for, gym work. I fell over. Scraped myself all up one side because I fell in the rain. So it was just, when you're just covered in like wet, it's like wet and little bits of gravel and you're scratched. Yeah, it was not a good day.
Yeah. And there is that slight feeling of feeling sorry for yourself. I don't care who you are. If you slip over in the rain, you've got a slight feeling of, oh no.
Yeah, no,
Oh, no.
and that was the worst part because I was in my Lululemon. So I was out there going, I'm running in the rain. I'm like a tampon meets perfume commercial. I was feeling it. I was like, oh my God, I'm running. I'm doing so good. And then I slipped like an idiot. I was like a whale, just like splat all over the beach. It was so embarrassing. More than painful. Like if anything, most of the pain, like I'd say 80% of the pain was embarrassment and 20% was the scratch down the side. Was the fact that I'd scratched myself. And then I had to kind of because even once when you're up again and you're limping home, war wounds. Do you know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, because that's what everyone's just like, oh, she just did a tough mudder. And I'm like, yeah, I did. In the middle of London, I totally just went tough mudding, walking home. And they're just, they're throwing water at me and they're clapping me and they're just like, woo, woo. The walk home was fine. It's just that 20 seconds of slip where you're like, I'm an idiot.
Yes. I mean, did you decide to buy yourself like some kitchen foil just to drape around yourself on the way back just to really finish the mood, just so you look like
you know what? I like that, but no,
marathon?
I did it Rambo style. I just went with what I had on. I was like, I'm walking this off. I'm walking this off in the rain, and I look good because let's be honest, I had the high ponytail, and high ponytails in rain, I don't know what it is. They go together. Yeah, Hayley's nodding. She knows what I'm talking about. There's just something about water dripping off a woman with a high ponytail that just says, this one's healthy.
Yeah. She slipped on her ass. But I mean, the closest thing I've got to that, because I did run for a bit. I haven't done in quite some time. I wish I get back on that horse, but not literal. But I've never slipped over running, but I did get a bike and I did fall off that 3 times in the space of 1 week. So
wow, okay,
same.
That
I know
that needs more explanation.
Okay, well. First occasion, I misjudged a curb, and instead of hopping onto it, I tried to slide up it and just fell on my ass.
Yep, been there, done that. Yep.
Yes, scraped up my elbow and everything. Did it in front of a police car. The police car stopped and said, "What happened?" I said, "I fell off." That's about as good as that story got. But I just remember, I just remember the walk home with the bike because I didn't get back on it again because I was like all shaky and stuff. And the walk home with the bike was so sad for me. It should have been raining. It was that kind of occasion, but it was nice and sunny. But it should have been raining, because it just added to it. 2 days later, my brakes seized and I went over the handlebars.
Oh, same
yeah.
bike. Okay.
Same bike. The third one was not the same bike. I borrowed an electric bike off the place I used to work for, and my trousers got wrapped up in the gears as the motor kicked in.
Are you wearing flares?
Not really. No, it was just
not really
unfortunate. So it just ripped those trousers up, and I fell off it again. So since then, I haven't really got on a bike.
I'm not surprised.
Can we go back to the imagery of your trousers being ripped off by an electric bike?
Yeah, sure,
I mean,
sure.
That's Benny Hill-esque. That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing all the trousers gone, sort of like chaps, just woohoo, gone.
No, not quite that bad. Not quite that bad. What happened was think of the inside leg of the trousers at the bottom getting eaten by the gears. So it ripped a hole lengthways. It ripped two holes actually lengthways down the inside of my leg. You know, like the trousers that Cheryl Cole wore that time for that performance she did for This Love.
Yeah, like chaps.
Yeah. Like opposite chaps. Yeah.
Back to front chaps.
Okay.
On one leg.
Right. Nice. Sexy, Alex. Sexy.
I haven't got them anymore.
Or the bikes, apparently.
No. Fuck the bikes. They've ended up. I left them at the place I worked, and then left the job and left the bikes there. So.
Did you leave your job because of that bike?
No. And it's interesting. The fact I left that job was because they were gonna fire me for going on holiday. But that's a whole other story.
That's a very interesting story. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a holiday booked to go to Colorado and the rest of it. We booked the holiday outright, but the place I worked for said, no, you can't take the holiday on that date. I was like, well, I booked it, so I'm going. They said, well, you won't have a job to come back to. And I went, okay, that's fine.
What kind of job was it?
Oh, retail.
Oh, I see.
You know, retail, the worst.
Yeah, retail. And look what's happening to them now.
I know, right? Idiots.
You left and the whole thing collapsed.
Have you ever worked in retail, Ria?
I've worked in the restaurant industry. I don't think I've ever worked in a shop.
That's close enough.
But I've worked front and back, front house, kitchen. I've worked reception jobs. I've worked.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't really done retail per se.
Hayley, retail?
Oh yeah. Lots. My first ever job when I was 14, which I'm sure was massively legal, and was in my local pharmacy, which again massively legal.
Wow.
Was, helping to give methadone to the heroin addicts. So that was that was a step up in responsibility. And I was getting paid £2 an hour. So look at me now. So, yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, £2 an hour. Did the crack addicts tip?
No, they did not. Sad, isn't it?
They didn't even tip.
No.
That's appalling.
No.
And he said you were such a good worker.
Yeah, I was such a good worker, and I'm going to give you a pay rise. And I was like so excited. In 14, I'm going to get a pay rise. This is amazing. I'm moving up in the world. And I'm thinking, right, the obvious step up is going to be £2.50 an hour, right? Of course, I'm planning what I'm going to make every week, what I'm going to spend it on because I'm 14, lipstick probably. And £2.25. Devastated. Absolutely devastated.
I mean,
yeah, retail.
That's an insult. He could have at least given you some crack on the side,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Combination.
You don't feel like taking any off the top, just selling it on the side. You could have done that yourself, really.
I could have. I've missed out there, haven't I?
Yeah.
So we are now on Thursday, I believe, if my maths is correct. And normally I get this wrong at this time. I normally say Wednesday again. But yeah, we're on Thursday now. Thursday. What did you do on Thursday?
Thursday was marred. So I had this pack of gluten-free cornbread that I needed to make, right? And it's one of those things where you see it on a shelf and it's like on sale and you go, oh, I'll have that. I do like cornbread. I do like a good cornbread. And I thought, today's the day I'm going to make the cornbread. And the cornbread required eggs, milk, and melted butter. And I didn't think twice about it. Or oil. You could use oil, but I only had extra virgin olive oil. And I was like, I don't think that's going to taste good in the cornbread. It's got to be butter, right? It's got to be butter. So I melted on the butter. I made it with all the thing. It came out. And then I realized that I'd used salted butter. So now the cornbread's a little too salty because I like my cornbread with melted butter. So I put melted butter on my cornbread and it was just a salt fest. I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. I think I need to buy some honey probably and just have it warm with honey or maybe butter and honey to kind of balance it out. Or I need to just give it away to other people. And if they chuck it out, then at least it wasn't me that chucked it out. They chucked it out, but it wasn't me.
That's right. No,
you know when you do that? You know, you have stuff where you go, yeah, give it to other people and go, well, if you didn't recycle my rubbish, that's your problem, not mine.
I know. Then I like to watch them eat it just to make sure that, actually doing that.
Wow. Alex, you just sit them down and go, chew, enjoy it. I made it for you.
Yeah. Eat that. Do you like it? Do you want another piece? What do you mean you're too full? Shut up. It's exactly like that.
Don't talk with your mouth full, but tell me if it's good.
Yeah, write it down. But cornbread, I've had it. I'm sure I've had it once when I went to America. I'm pretty sure I had cornbread. But
I know you've been to America. You got fired for it.
Yeah, that's right. I did go. But yeah, I remember enjoying it, but I can't remember the taste. So you could probably have palmed it off on me if you said this is a particular type of cornbread. If you got this is a salty cornbread.
Yeah, this is a salty bread, and it's gluten free.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't. By the way, can I just say I didn't buy it because it's gluten free. It just happened to be an easy pack of cornbread.
Yeah.
And happened to be gluten free.
I understand.
We weren't judging.
I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer. I then smothered it in meat. No,
Good
I didn't.
for you.
I didn't smother it in meat.
Damn.
I don't.
I like that.
Should have.
It
would be good though.
Out.
It would be really good with any kind of pulled meat. Yeah, pulled barbecue pork and cornbread. Mwah. Very good.
Yum.
Definitely. I haven't eaten this evening.
No. No,
So
I haven't either.
now.
I'm eating after this. We're all just sort of sitting there going, I'm looking at, and I see the fridge in the reflection of this, and I keep looking, going, what have I got in there to eat? What can I eat? What can I eat?
What's in there? Nice.
Oh man, yes, I am really hungry. Yeah, we've just been glamping, so we've come back today. We had 2 days glamping in Bury St Edmunds, and so everything.
What is that, Alex? What is glamping?
Well, let me tell you. You know, camping.
Yes.
It's not that. It's basically
okay.
It's like living in a nice little sort of modernish looking wooden hut with a TV in there that doesn't get any signal as such. You've got absolutely no Wi-Fi, absolutely no phone signal at all, and everything is in one room. And you cook outdoors on a
even the
barbecue.
Toilet.
No, the toilet's actually inside, but it's in the same. Basically, it's in a very tiny wet room with a shower in there as well. So you could essentially have a shower while taking a poo.
And are these huts all next to each other?
They're slightly apart from each other, but not enough to say, for example, you're going somewhere with your wife for a nice little cozy away from it all type thing. Yet the pods either side of you have been rented out by 10 other people that know each other and are having a party. That's basically what happened on this glamping thing.
Okay, so you do want to know your neighbors for this to be enjoyable.
Yes.
It doesn't. Why would you all go to a shitter living situation than the one you have at home?
I don't know.
Instead of, why would you pay for that on
I
holiday?
don't know.
Why would you go? I need a break from my life. I'll go somewhere where it's really shit.
Yeah, and we paid a lot as well.
Oh, they're not cheap.
You paid a lot
are they?
to shit while you shower.
Yeah,
That's.
I mean, when you put it like that.
I mean, Just
But
it doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me as a
It's-
holiday.
it's
as
the great
as a means of
outdoors.
relaxing. Maybe but is it you're surrounded by 10 other cabins of friends?
They're not our friends.
Camping, proper camping. Oh, they weren't your friends.
No. They weren't our
Just-
friends. They were friends of each other. They were either side of our pod. So they were going to each other's for
Oh.
drinks in the night. So we couldn't even enjoy the great outdoors.
Oh.
Shouldn't you have swapped pods with either neighbor?
We'd moved our stuff in. So
Yeah.
it's a faff.
Wow.
You know?
So okay, all right. If that's a consequence of the pandemic, I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf.
Yeah, I am as well. I'm really
Could have been
upset.
in Portugal, Alex. You could have been in Portugal. But no, you had to go glamping.
Yeah. I'm not doing that again anyway. So yeah.
Probably best.
Yeah,
I think so.
I can hear why.
Don't know what you mean. It sounds
So-
great.
So did you manage to palm the cornbread off on anyone in the end?
No, it is sitting individually wrapped in a pile on my counter. But tomorrow, I'm going to a rehearsal. I'm going to bring it then. But then but we have to be really super careful. So it is possible that people go, oh, I'm sorry, we can't accept it because of COVID.
But it's gluten free.
I know. Everybody knows COVID and gluten love each other.
Yes,
they
we
love
can.
each other.
Yeah.
So if there's no gluten, there's no COVID.
Yes, I know. I mean, the vaccine is 90% gluten, isn't it? If I remember correctly. I'm sure I read that somewhere.
No, it's 110% meat. Remember?
Yes.
But magnetic meat. So when you
Yes.
inject
Magnetic.
yourself with it, you get the magnetic
Meat sweats as
Oh.
well.
the meat sweats
Yeah,
that happen to be magnetic.
yeah, I like them.
You like a good meat sweat, do you, Alex?
No, actually, I don't. I think it's disgustingly bad and horrible.
We're
and a
learning
really
so much
bad
about
side
you,
effect.
Alex. We're learning that you like to shit when you shower. You like a good meat sweat.
All at the same time. Let's have a look at Friday and see if I can glean anything that I do as well from that.
On Friday,
Did you fall off a bike again?
Friday, I don't fall off bikes. Are you
No,
kidding?
No,
I-
that's
you know,
me. That's me. What did you do on Friday,
I know.
Ria?
Okay, so Friday, I collected the child from the trip
Oh, yes, you remembered.
that he went on, collected him from that, and we went to the park because it was nice. So we went to the park and like soaked some rays.
Lovely. You see, that's good. I like a
Bit
good
of skin
chill.
cancer
Good.
there. Bit of skin
Yeah.
cancer.
That's what you need.
No, we did our SPF. We were responsible.
Excellent.
But really simple, straightforward day. Just picked them up. They got back a little bit late. They got back at like 4:00 and the sun was still out. So we're like, let's go to the park. Let's do that.
Sounds good. Sounds
and
good. It sounds like the glamping, but without the annoying bits. It just sounds like you're outdoors and you've got a swing.
Yes, I was able to shit freely in the park without it showering.
Good for you.
And that was the key thing for me. I was like, either or, man, either or, but
Yeah.
not both, especially in a park,
No.
because that's just rude.
It is rude.
Pretty rude.
It is rude.
It is
Yeah.
rude. It is rude to shit in the park and shower.
It's frowned upon.
At
I
least
would
he didn't
say.
fall over as well.
Is it now?
so-
Is it frowned upon? That's such a British thing to say. It's frowned upon.
It is
Just
frowned
going, what
upon.
is that? That's you making a face and walking on. That's so British,
Yeah, and
isn't it?
it is frowned upon in this country that someone to take a shit in the park while showering.
Yeah, in America, we'd taser that. We'd taser the fucker. You know what I mean? We'd just be like, no, thank you, dude.
Yeah.
But no, here you would just walk by and frown upon it.
Yes.
It just says everything about what the Brits think of themselves. They're just like, well, I'm up here in society, so when I frown, it means something. And I'm like, it really doesn't, mate. Honestly, hope the wind doesn't change and your face will stay like that. Oh, that is your face. Okay.
Too late.
Haley, you ever frowned at anything?
Oh, I am so grumpy. I frown all the time. Yeah. I would definitely do the frowning at someone shitting in the park. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Shitting and
You have to,
showering.
don't you? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
forgot about that bit.
Hayley's a mom of 3. I don't think she's showered in at least 4 years. She doesn't have time.
And not in my 1970s bathroom anyway. It's broken. Every time you use the bath or the shower or the sink, actually, the water just goes and leaks into our cellar. So,
Cellar?
yeah.
Cellar,
we have a cellar.
Hayley?
I know, we got a cellar, we do. Nicey.
The hell?
Wow. Hayley,
I
this is
know.
incredible. A Victorian house with a cellar?
Yeah.
He's got a haunted dental clinic, but you've got a
know.
haunted house.
I've got
You trump the dental clinic.
Have you got wine in the cellar?
No, it's just full of absolute crap,
Oh.
basically. Yeah, it's and water. So it's there is a little toilet down there which I cleaned, and now we can actually use that. I mean, you still might get bitten by a rat or something. I'm sure it would be fine though.
That's a perk.
It's fine. It's an extra toilet. I
Yeah.
mean, there's 5 of us. We need it. Needs must.
Wow, Hayley.
What else is in the cellar other than a toilet?
Oh, there's some graffiti. Not from me. I didn't do that. That's not really my bag. Yeah, the man that used to live here was like a Hungarian general or something in World War II, and he just kind of graffitied stuff. And there's a gun cabinet. It has no guns in it, I hasten to add. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got an old gun cabinet. And when we came to look at it, I was like, what's that? And they were like, oh, it's a gun cabinet. It's cool. Like, our dad was a Hungarian army dude. And I was like, okay, it's got a padlock on it. Are you sure it doesn't have guns in there? Like, no guns. It's fine. And I was like, yeah, I'm not buying this house until you make sure there's like nothing in that. But if there's gold in it, I'll keep that bit. That's fine. That's fine. Some ingots or something. But no, it was
Hayley.
empty. So boring.
Hayley, lesson 101 is when somebody sells you something with a padlock on it, don't buy it. Buy it. Have you not seen, what is it called? Storage Raiders or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Always go, don't worry, I'll deal with the padlock. You just leave the house with me. I'll sort that out. Make sure that the gun cabinet with the padlock isn't like a secret door to another room. Do make sure that that's not a thing.
I mean, it's definitely empty now. I was just worried there might be sort of grenades or something in it. I don't know.
It's empty now.
It's empty.
Why the padlock?
Yeah. Don't know.
Did the estate agent put that
tell
on
me.
there for intrigue? It's like a selling point.
No. You know what? It never actually went on the market. It sounds a bit weird. It sounds like I've just
This
stolen
sounds really
somebody's
really
really old
weirder
house.
and weirder, Hayley.
Is the Hungarian general down in the basement?
No, I hope not anyway.
No.
Oh, God. No.
So imagine they're going, oh,
No,
thank God they fixed the toilet. I've been waiting for so long.
Our best friends live next door. And she was like, my friend was like, yeah, the lady's moving out. So do you want to buy it? I'll put in a good word. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'll probably see it first if that's okay. So that's kind of how it happened. It was just, we had a chat and we came to look at it. And then we were like, okay, cool. Let's go for it. I know, right?
Wow.
Let's go for it. Love a 1970s brown bathroom that leaks into a cellar with a gun cabinet. That is my jam. Do you know how hard that is to find on the open market? Thank you very much.
Exactly. Would have cost us a fortune, honestly.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just bewildered by that.
So am I. We've been here nearly a year and I still don't understand, to be fair. So
as long as the walls aren't bleeding or anything like that.
Not yet. There is asbestos in the walls, though. So,
Oh, good. Good. Asbestos in the walls.
yeah, asbestos in the walls. Yeah, I know. It gets better and better, right? Yeah, and we used to have 2 front doors as well. 2 front doors. Who has 2 front doors? I don't know. And the outer door. So
What, next to each other?
yeah, so kind of like a little sort of lobby, but pointless because there was no space for anything. It's like the width of me, which actually is quite big. But it's just the front door opened outwards. So if anyone was coming to give us a delivery or whatever, post, you would just kind of nearly kill them every time you open the door because they'd obviously be expecting it to open inwards. And yeah, it was just really awkward. So we got rid of that. That was a wise step, I think.
It's a crazy house.
I think that was a good move.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a good move. You got rid of the double front door, not the delivery guy, just to be clear.
Yeah, I think he might be in the cellar. I'm not sure, really.
Keep an eye on that.
What a big cellar.
It runs the whole length of the house. It's pretty massive, yeah. It's like a 1-bedroom flat, but uninhabitable.
Well, yeah, at the moment, I mean,
pointless.
you could fix that out and rent that out. I mean,
Yeah, but where would I put all my stuff?
You could put the mountain down there.
Oh no, the mountain's gone. It's gone. It's dead. Dead
The
to
mountain's
me.
gone.
how did you
Dead
get
to
rid
me.
of that? We're going off
Oh.
a real tangent here, but I just
Yeah, how does one get rid of
How
a
do-
mountain in one's
how do you
living room?
move a mountain?
Yeah, wow. I didn't know. I had to call my dad.
I know how to climb every mountain, but I don't know how to move. the
Yeah,
mountain.
we just basically had 2 sledgehammers and just kind of beat the living shit out of it. It was amazing because I was just like, "Rah!" Sledgehammer. Honestly, it was so cheap, such cheap therapy. It was incredible. Saved me a fortune. Saved me an absolute fortune in counsellors. I recommend it, actually. It's good.
Built your abs. Built your arms, I mean.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right, a
was
friend of mine, he was trying to. Reminds me, he started a business where you could trash things. So you go into a
Oh.
room and you just beat the shit out of like a printer or
I
a
need that.
computer or something like that. I don't know what happened to that though. But that's a really good
Oh.
idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen it in America. I've seen it on like CSI New York or something where they do like team building stuff and go and batter shit, basically. And I was like, wow, we need those in the UK because I would definitely go to that. I would
Yeah.
definitely go to that. Yeah.
Would work for me. So that was most of your week. Now we get to the exciting part. What the hell happened at the weekend, Ria?
Oh, well, you know I'm a stand-up.
I am.
So I
You
did
are,
some
I do
live
even.
gigging. Live gigging.
Live gigging?
What?
Live
Surely
gigging,
not.
Alex, in front of people. People I'm not related to. We all sat in the same room, 2 meters apart. I said words, they laughed. It was an incredible coming together
My
moment.
goodness. How long was the set?
The set was 20 minutes, standard. Standard.
Nice.
Well, yes. I mean, including laughter and me scrabbling about going, what did I used to say before the pandemic? That might still apply now. There was a bit of that,
Yeah.
couple, lots of sips of water as you go, I'm taking this for dramatic effect, this sip, but in reality, I'm trying to remember what I'm going to say next.
Love it. But I mean, that must have been so nice to get back out there again.
It was, there's a certain catharsis to being able to remind yourself that you are still good at your job or that you are still in the right job. Because I think that after 18 months of sitting at home, and we did Zoom gigs and things like that. So I was always keeping in touch with it that way. But there is a certain, kind of coming home or just settling of going, oh, phew, I haven't totally lost these skills. A bit like, I would say like riding a bike, but I'm very conscientious of the fact that doesn't apply to you, Alex.
Please.
I don't ride a
no.
bike either.
But-
It's
No,
okay.
don't
You're
do
not
that.
alone.
I used to do stand up and I stopped simply because too many bad gigs. And it's like the same reason I don't ride a bike anymore. So, it's the same thing. I get it. I get the analogy.
Right. So yeah, that was good. That was good. And I think it's also nice to have that shared experience again with people, a positive shared experience, because, at the beginning of the pandemic as well, we were all in it together and clapping on Thursday nights for the NHS and everything. And there was a certain amount of shared experience, but we've refractured since then, and we've fractured and Brexit happened in the middle and that caused problems. And so it was just nice to come together with not a lot of people, it was probably 30 people because of the capacity of the room and safety, but to just be able to all sit in one room and create a shared experience and just be like, yay, take your mind off things and just pretend for a while that things aren't totally weird and that table service is totally normal.
Yes.
And to ignore people on their phones in the middle of your set because they're just ordering drinks. And if they don't order drinks, then the club doesn't get the money and then the club shuts. So we all want that to happen, even though it is so annoying when people are on their phones in a gig. But for now, we're like, no, we get what's going on. We're going to
adapting.
ignore
That's
that.
what it is. It's all adapting, isn't it? I did a
it's all about adaptation.
I did a Christmas show last year. There's that brief period, that brief window where lockdown sort of ceased slightly and things could get slightly back to normal. Then they panicked and went, oh, no, let's not do that. Just around the Christmas period.
Yeah.
There was that 1 week and we actually managed to do a Christmas show there. And that was all like spaced out, like 40 people, I think it was, all spaced out, all covered in masks. And it's a very weird sort of I don't know if you felt that. You probably did, but did they have masks on during the performance? Did they also have that?
No, when you've sat down and you're drinking, you can take it off.
That's handy because in this one they just had masks on the entire time, so we heard the laughter muffled, but it was very hard to sort of judge if they were actually enjoying it or not because all you can see are the eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird.
It's a tricky balance because for COVID's reasons, you want the room to be as big and as airy as possible, and for air to circulate. But for comedy purposes, you want it to be small, dark, low ceilinged, and not a lot of circulation. So what works for comedy is the exact opposite of what works for COVID. So it's about finding that balance as well, and understanding that I can't hear any laughter is because, well, that's because you're doing comedy in a car park and the laughter's going straight to the moon.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I could appreciate how that must have been, and you got to take the rough with the smooth, and the fact that you can still do it. That's the important thing as well.
Just about, let's say, just about.
Yeah, that's enough.
The raw ability is still there. The actual honed material is going to take time to get back to match fit, but there's something there to work on. So that's good.
It's not like you can sit on stage and go, so COVID, right? You can't do that for like 20 minutes straight. It's
no, I know. But although people did that for 4 years with Trump, why can't we do it with COVID? But yes, I take your point.
I know what you mean. Whatever happened to Trump? Anyway,
he's making a comeback. Don't you worry. That boy will be back.
Yeah, I've seen.
I think he's just negotiating the rights to his life with Marvel. And then once they've decided, then he'll be serialized forever in some kind of infinite time loop.
That's a horrible thought.
Isn't it just? Yep. But he's the right color. He's the right color for them.
He is, isn't he? He is. And people
they don't have an orange one. They've got a red one. They've got a yellow one.
True.
They've got a blue one. They don't have an orange one.
Yeah. And there'll be that thing with the Hulk as well in like years to come where they'll say, I'm pretty sure Trump wasn't always orange. I'm pretty sure he was another color at one point. I'm pretty sure he hasn't always been that color in the comics.
Yeah, maybe. I never read the comics. I went straight to video.
Oh.
I went straight to video. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough.
So I have quite a bastardized version of him. I don't have all the nuance from the comics.
Oh,
so that probably is why I have such a fixed negative opinion of him. It's probably because I'm not giving him a fair chance.
No, you should give him more of a chance in the comic. In like some of the graphic novels, his character arc is actually quite.
I do not need to see a Trump graphic novel based on the stuff he did in Russia. I do not need to see that, if I'm honest. I'm just disappointed that he's.
We were talking about shitting in the park.
Shitting and showering, thank you very much.
Yeah, I know.
Shitting and showering, which I know is rude and frowned upon, but it does clean up your mess as you do it. So there are some benefits to it.
We really frowned upon what Trump did in Russia. We frowned so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still frowning.
Yeah. I mean.
Unsanitary.
Quite an expensive frown as well.
Yeah.
From what I understand, but. I'm just annoyed that he's a canon.
Yeah, no, I know. But we're talking about you having a gold-plated bathroom, and then they be getting to golden showers and. But anyway, not going there.
Dun dun. Boom! Alex made the connection.
I'd like to sort of make it all link somehow. I don't know. So the weekend was. I've actually forgotten what you said you did. Was that the stand-up? That was the stand-up. That was the gig. Yes, that was the gig.
That was the stand-up.
That's right. That was good. Good. I'm glad we got that covered. So Ria, if we were to rate your week on a scale of up to whatever, what would you rate last week in total?
Oh, I'd say it was a whatever week. On a scale of up to whatever, I'd say whatever.
So that's like a quarter of the way. Yeah, I get you.
Well, it's three quarters of the way, but
yes,
because it wasn't. I mean, it was a standard week.
Yeah.
There were lows. There were lows, like when I fell in the rain. That was pretty low. That was embarrassing. But there weren't like mega highs. Like the gig was good. No, I mean, I was ground level. I was
Yes.
ground level on that. You can get lower. You can get Haley's basement. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Haley's cellar, lower. But
Oh no, we have a big
Oh.
hole in our garden too. That's low.
why do you have a hole in your garden?
We were
Haley?
putting up some.
What did they dig up? What used to be in the hole?
Well, we think it was an old like cesspit. I know.
Do you know what that hole is, Haley? That's where the mountain came from.
No, I think it's just where all the Victorian people's wee-wees, poo-poos went. It's fine.
Oh.
Can I just say, this sounds like an incredible buy.
Yeah.
This property. Sounds like you have a massive garden.
Huge. I mean, huge hole. I mean, we thought it was a well, and we got quite excited because we thought, maybe we could sell some spring water and make loads of money or something. And it turns out it's just like a dirty old cesspit or something. So we just had to.
There's not much call for
No,
that,
not
is there?
really.
Excess
We just
water.
filled it up with rubble and pretended like it's not there now. But it could have fit like all of us. It could have been like, oh, actually, if Trump comes back and there's some sort of war, we could just go hide in that. I think we'd be safe. You guys can come too. It's huge. It's huge.
Thanks.
No problem.
Well, we'll do that.
You don't think Trump would be comfortable in a cesspit? I don't think you.
No, he's not allowed to come
know him
in.
very well.
It's just in case he, blows stuff up.
He's already there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we buried him. It's
He's
fine.
already there.
If he comes back, I'm voting for Scottish independence just to keep, whenever he flies over to his
golf
his
place.
golf pits, that he keeps him from here. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that he's got a golfing place in Scotland. I think let's just take that
It's
off
just
him.
too close.
Yeah,
I agree.
far too close. Far too
I
close.
agree.
Nice. So Ria, is there anything that you would like to plug while we've got you?
Do you know what? As always, just the socials. If you've enjoyed this and you want to hear more rubbish from me, just follow me online, and all other news that pertains to me will be on there.
Yeah.
So Ria Lina, and search them on all of them because I'm on all of them.
Oh, you're
So
all over
whichever
the
is your
socials.
preference, find me there. I'm even on LinkedIn.
I am as well.
I mean, I'm not going to promise scintillating content on LinkedIn. It's a bit boring, but I'm there.
I don't know how to use it. I really don't know how to use it. I'm on there, but
I know. Do you know what? I don't think it works for us.
no.
It's not quite. It's basically every professional in the world going, hey, I've done this thing. I've done this seminar. I've done this talk. I've done this lecture.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. I had one guy ask me to do voiceover work through it, and he got me to read it, and I read it, and he said, can you do it again? I was like, okay. So I read it again, and then I just got one word reply that said volume.
Oh.
And I left it there because I didn't know. I couldn't be bothered, to be
What?
honest. Yeah, volume. I don't know if I wanted it.
What does that
up
mean,
or down.
volume?
I don't know.
Just volume.
Quantity? I've no idea.
Weird.
Absolute.
Wow.
Very, very strange. Very, very strange.
That
But
sounds, that's.
yeah, not worth it, is it? So yeah, follow Ria Lina on her socials, all of them. MySpace.
Yeah, I was once. I don't know if it's still there anymore, is it?
It's worth a look.
Just have a look anyway.
It might be
maybe.
there. It might be there. It's worth a look. You won't be surprised to see all of us
Oh,
looking
gosh.
very, very different. Can you imagine? Like a time capsule.
Very young on
Yeah,
there. Oh, I'm gonna have to
yeah.
Google that later.
Well,
That's
do let me know your findings. That about rounds it all off, really. Huge thanks to our guest Ria Lina. Hayley, how have you found this? It's your first time co-hosting. Have you enjoyed
I
it?
very much have enjoyed it. Yes, thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Yeah, that'll change. So my thanks to Hayley Pettitt. My thanks again to Ria Lina. I've been Alex Sievewright, and that was the week that was it? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Do y'all like wine but have children? Then send them off to the 3-day three-day camping trip. Yes, camping. That's right, camping. Your child will be looked after by us so you can enjoy that sweet, sweet grape. Mama like wine? Mama gonna get the wine. Your child will be playing in our diamond mines, and they will be back to you in 3 days with all their limbs strings attached. Uh-huh. Don't worry. Enjoy the wine. Our city's diamond and asbestos mine, just off the A4.